Okay. Here we go. Okay. Oh, hello, hello. Welcome to my page. I am Josie. I am the owner of Paint Pixie. We'll just wait and see if a few more people show up. It's always busy out there, right? Lots of people. Hey, Tabby, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Lavada, I see some of my friends showing up, and I love it. Thank you, Tabby. I appreciate it. All right, so I had asked earlier on a post if you wanted to see me do some color mixing, right? Like mixing more than one color together to make a color, because yesterday I had posted, I love to challenge myself. And it's been a long time since a long time since I've done walls and had to match someone else's colors, not knowing what they used. So I had some of you went ahead and posted some pictures for me of some colors you'd like to see made. And so I've got my computer up today. I am hoping that I can get, you'll be able to see what I'm going to be doing. And earlier when I asked, wow, somebody else saw on live, all of a sudden I just lost a bunch of you, but that's okay. You know, I've got you, and that's what's important. Okay, so anyway, so maybe a half hour, 45 minutes ago, I asked, do you want me to mix color, or do you want me to work on a project? A lot of you said it didn't matter. Some said do mix, some said project. And one person said, how about both? And you know what? I thought, you know what? I'm going to do that. I have got this little silver tray that I bought sometime last year. And I always thought it'd be really cute if I painted it and then decoupaged. You know, you've seen lots of artists and crafters doing that, right? Kind of decoupage the bottom. But I thought it'd be cute to like put it either at an entry table, maybe even my guest room or guest bath. And like, you know, you could either throw your keys down on here, you could throw your jewelry or whatever, right? But just kind of, I like keeping things contained and neat. And that's why I love trays and baskets and things like that, opposed to just throwing stuff on the table. So what we're going to do is I will tilt you down. And this is what's going to be kind of, well, heck, Josie, wait, I'm going to tilt you down. I'm going to get rid of the comments. I'm going to try and do my best to read from the phone, because when I go to do some color matching, I'm going to need to see the picture from my computer. And it may not be exactly what you were asking for, but you have to remember that I'm looking from my screen. So let's just get started real quick, and let's get this little tray primed. Seeing that it's silver and it's metal, I decided I'm going to prime it. I'm going to use our undercover primer for this. And actually, I've got it in a tiny little container that just really works out great. So let me get this primed real quick. And then what we'll do is jump over to start some color mixing while this is drying. So here we go. Oh, I guess I could be reading some comments from my computer, couldn't I? Let me enlarge this, but then I'm going to have to go back. Okay. Oh, you can't see comments? Yeah, it was weird. All of a sudden, I had all of you on here, and then it's like, oh my God, everyone's leaving. I haven't even started. You know, nothing like boring everybody from the beginning. I know, maybe I just talked too much at the beginning, but I like to explain what I'm working on. So I'm going to go ahead and just give this a better coat of primer, even up here. But because what I might do is one of the colors, I may do the edge black. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. See, this is what happens. I kind of have an idea of what color I want the edge, like the middle part of the edge. I think the middle of this will just be paper. So this is our bonding primer. It's not really, what's the word? Like for coverage. It's more for bonding. So I may need a couple of coats in the middle just because I want to make sure. I'm looking at my paper, and I'm going to show you my paper in a minute. I love this paper, and I was on, and it's this paper. Oh, you know what I think I'll do is, you're going to see it. The paper I'm using is, I'm going to put it here, Digital Deco Designs. There we go. And I'll go ahead and type in my website because I have many people asking me, and I should do this in the description, asking me where they can buy products. So anyway, hello Pat, how are you? Alrighty, let me just dry this up real quick so we can get the second coat on, and then we'll start the color mixing. So I'm going to have to, I wish I could do, can I do picture? Oh, no, I can't. I'm going to have to get out of this screen. So that I can see what colors everyone was asking me for. So I better leave the comments here so that I can try to read. And I'm just drawing right now. And I'll do a quick second coat, and then I'll be able to let you see what I am going to work on. I don't know what your weather's like today, but mine has been weird. I had left in the morning to go to a doctor's appointment, and it was really sunny out. It was chilly, but sunny. Actually, we got snow yesterday, and I think a little bit the day before, but nothing that stuck to the ground. I live here in Arizona, but I live in Sedona, which is a higher elevation than Phoenix. So we don't get those hot temperatures that Phoenix gets, and we can get cold enough to get snow. So anyway, I left the house. It was sunny, and the doctor's about 30 miles away. So I go, did all my blood work, did all that at the doctor's office, and then come out, it's raining, and it got really cold. I get home, it wasn't raining yet, but by the time I got kind of settled in and it was time for lunch, it started raining. Then it started hailing, and it's just weird spring weather. All right, I'm going to go ahead and set this aside, but I'm going to show you, I think that should be able to dry by itself while we do some color mixing. Let me grab one of these crocodile These are like big rags. All right. So, hello, Kitty. How are you? And Renee Sharp, Diane, I can see you guys are watching. I don't know if you'll stick around, but I hope you do. All right. Just try to get that primer off. I'm telling you, our primer is so bonded that if you don't get it off, sometimes it's hard to wash off. So you know it does really well. All right, so I'm going to show you this paper, and I'm going to experiment. I bought this calligraphy paper. I don't know if any of you have ever bought it, but it's really thin, and it's very similar to rice paper, in my opinion. And maybe this is what they're using. I use a different type of rice paper. I use what they call a mulberry, has fibers, but I wanted to try this. And because it also comes in bigger sizes. Well, this is one of the prints from Digital Deco Designs that I absolutely love. It's got those pastel colors that I want to try to mix, and that's upside down. There we go. I have like a super easy one right off the bat. I'm reading Maddie, the Craft Farm Girl. That's Maddie who does Maddie's Mystery Box. All she asked for was a metallic light pink rose. I think that'll be easy enough to make. She didn't send me a picture of what she wanted. So since that's one of the colors I think I want to do, and I think it should be easy enough to do, we'll start there. All right. It would be a lot easier though if I could see your comments. So I think what I'm going to do is I can click back and forth. I'm just going to open up another page. That way I can read comments from my computer while I'm working. And I'm going to tilt you here. Hopefully you can. Okay. I'll be able to see. Hold on. Here we go. All right. So since Maddie didn't ask for a specific pink, and I'm trying to see you right here. I should be able to see your comments. There we go. Hello, Karen and Regina. All right. She said a light pink rose metallic, right? So I think what we'll do, now our paints actually come in bottles like this. This is our 8-ounce liquid Pixie Dust metallic in the white sand. The thing is we're going to be selling a whole kit of these little containers with our colors in it, and they really come in handy. So I'm finding that I don't mind reaching for these because they're right in front of me. So I'm thinking we start out with white sand since she wants a light pink metallic. And I'm going to do is pretty much start off mixing them. And I'm going to mix them in this container. I don't like mixing too much at a time. Josie, can you see my comments? But yes, Tony, I think I can see everyone's comments. Teresa says she can't see hers. Have you opened it full screen? Try, like there's that diagonal line with, I think it's got arrows on it. Click on that and see if you can open it if you're not open full screen. Anyway, so I'm going to start out with just a little bit at a time because it's really, really easy to overmix and just waste so much paint. So we do have a red Crimson Tide in our metallic line as well. So this is what I want to do. We start out with white sand because what we're trying to do is mix a pink, she said a pink rose. So this will give me an idea of what if I mix our Crimson Tide and our white sand together, what we'll end up with. And these are so highly pigmented that there's a really good possibility I could or put too much red. So she didn't give me a picture, but that is a rose pink, a metallic rose pink. What do you think? I can see your comments, so I can see what you're thinking. I think that looks pretty darn good. If I want it lighter, and you know, before I do that, let me grab a brush and let me paint some. Oh, and all I'm using today is watercolor paper, okay? And wow, that's pretty. Actually, that would be really pretty on the edge of my tray. All right, let me show it to you. I'm not really sure that I mean, I can darken it. I'm not sure that I want to make it lighter. All right. Just trying to get a good sample here. See, what's nice, I can see you from my computer screen. It's nice and big. Oh, a lot of glare though, because see, that's our metallic. You like it? Looks rose to me, Debbie. It really is. It definitely is rose. You know what? I'll go ahead and add more of, I'm going to rinse my brush off. I'll go ahead and add more white sand. And let's see. Let me grab, I don't want, there, let me just kind of clean, keep some of this clean. Let's see, by adding more white sand, let's make it lighter. Now, the white sand is not super opaque like the rest of our, shoot, what did I do with my other rag? I had a dry rag. It's not as opaque as our other metallics, and it is more of a pearl color. And I don't want to waste it. I'm going to go ahead and just take it right off of that. Oh, but I wanted to mix it, didn't I? Okay, that was kind of silly. Let's mix. So now I've got more white and less more of the white sand and less Crimson Tide. But that Crimson Tide is really, really highly pigmented. And I feel like I could even use more white sand. So the lesson here is if you want a super, super light pink, you know what, I'm going to take that out of the bottle. You definitely want to use the tiniest amount of Crimson Tide. Now this is a big no-no. Okay, I'm not going to show you. Really is a big no-no to use your bristles to mix your paint, because then you end up having bristles like mine where you kind of ruin them. So what I'll do is I'll paint this next to our rose there and see. I am going to take that excess paint off. Okay, let's see. Now, because it's got more white sand and less Crimson Tide, it's a lot more translucent. But it's so pretty, and would just need to like maybe 2 coats. You see it? Brenda, it does not, no, it's not bubblegum at all in person. It's not that bright pink, like you see that bubblegum pink, not at all. It is very rose. And it could be, you know, different screens. Like when I look, I've got a Mac. I don't know if it makes a difference. I have got the professional version. When I see it on my Mac, it looks like my sample here. All right, so that shows you more white sand. Well, I had to go back and add more white sand to make it lighter. I mean, you saw how much I barely put any of the Crimson Tide, but you saw how that Crimson Tide just took over. All right, so I think I want to use, because I definitely don't want to waste what I've got here. So I think I want to do is, let's put a coat of this. Because I like this color. May as well just use the same brush. Although, oh, let's see, my primer. My primer, I think, is dry enough. I think I'll use a bigger brush. If I use a bigger brush, the coverage is usually better. And so here's another tip. If you're working on something larger, make sure you mix enough paint. Or keep track of how much of each color you used. I typically eyeball everything. And sometimes that's why I end up wasting a lot of paint, because I need to mix more and I didn't write down my ratios. Like in this case, right? Didn't write down my ratios. Okay. But isn't that pretty? I think that is so pretty. So we'll have to tag Maddie and tell her that I made a light pink rose. There's another color I was thinking I might want to use in this, and that's the lavender that's in the paper. So maybe what I do is we'll let this dry while we make the lavender. And I'm thinking maybe the lavender up here on the edge, or maybe on this edge, it can just be layered right on top. See, originally, right, didn't I say, or maybe I never finished my thought, I was thinking of going back and painting this frilly edge, maybe black, like the licorice, and then coming back over it to really give it the depth. But maybe instead, if I just keep layering my colors, I won't need to do that. And that is definitely something, thank you, Tabitha. That is something I could go back later on if I wanted to. I could always go back and redo that edge. So let's set the rose aside. All right, I'm going to flip back to my other page here. Let's see. And then we'll keep playing with some of the other ones. I'm thinking, you know what? I'll let that dry really well. I've got people here asking for, I've had 2 people ask for a true olive green. Now, of course, they did put pictures, and that's great. So that's what I want. I am going to start off with, whoops. So we're going to do, I wanted you to see this. Okay, let's see. All right. An olive green, okay? I'm going to show you what I feel is an easy way to make an olive, and we'll see if it works or not. I'm going to take our Christmas cookie. It's just more of a true green. And I'm going to mix it with our chocolate souffle, the brown. And we'll start with that. So let me go back to my other Facebook page. Isn't that shine beautiful? The metallics have such, and you all know this, they are such a high quality. All right. Okay. So how many of you are just waiting for April 1st to come around so you can order your sample set, right? We only have 30 of the chalk colors and, or the chalk paints, and we're going to have, I think, 17 of the metallic, and then that's it. You'd be amazed how long it took me. I'm going to move these closer here. How long it took me to pour and label, make labels. Oh, it was a ridiculous amount of time. I had no idea how long it would take. All right, so again, we're going to just pick some up. Put it there. I don't want to. And then we've got our chocolate souffle. I know, it's funny, Karen, somebody commented on, I think, the live where I was showing them, that they hope it's not an April Fool's joke. I'm like, it's not a joke. It's not an April Fool's joke. I wouldn't do that to you. I may as well just use this brush. I'm just going to try to get all the moisture out. It's just right here in front of me. And okay, just wipe that off. All right. I don't know how much chocolate souffle it's going to take to do this. So we'll just start off with a little bit. Whoa. And start mixing. Now, some olives have like, now this might be too dark. I'm looking at it. It's pretty dark. Some olives almost have like a yellow undertone. Although maybe this is what I do with this. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. Somebody had asked for a darker green. Although I think this one that they're asking for might be Christmas cookie with black. So nope, let's continue with our olive where we started. Get that big. It's close. It's really close to her picture. I'm going to show you. Wait. Well, it's hard to do it this way. I think I need to paint my board. Also, you know, they're sending me screenshots. I'm going to do is put a little bit more chocolate souffle, and I know that's probably going to darken it a bit. I feel like I'm almost there. That one, yeah, this one looks more olive for sure. Oh, most definitely. Okay. Most definitely. All right. And then I'm going to show you, I was able to get, hold on. You know, my brush is wet, so it's not depositing the color the way I want it. Okay. And then also a tip, when you're wanting to paint dark colors, your best bet is to use a dark, like a primer or something like that, not on white. We're going to let that dry. But this is where I'm at with, oh, let me get you back up. Actually, I think my, it's a dark olive. Looks like a dark olive. Let me just dry this real quick, and then I'll go back and read some comments. Put another coat. I might add a touch. I'm just thinking maybe a touch of, I've got to make some more though. I'm thinking almost maybe a touch of honeycomb. This is definitely a dark olive. I can tell you that. It's different than her picture. Her picture almost looks like, and again, it could be just the photo. It almost looks, here, I'll show you in a minute. I kind of want to, it's hard to tell. Yeah, it's definitely much darker. Almost looks like there's gray in it. Let me show it to you. Oh, I guess that's hard. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at. Probably going to be hard to tell, but because the lighting, right? So mine is a lot darker. You can see that. But that's the picture she gave me for a true olive. But that, when I blow it up like that, does not look like a true olive. That's why I'm thinking maybe, let me go back. Let me read some comments. I hate to say it, but some comments come back. Okay. But you can, right? You can always add, but you can't take away. That is correct, Regina. Hello, Renee, my friend. Our dear friend Laura Louise asked me to make a true olive. That's what I'm working on right now. My olive came out a lot darker than her picture, so I'm thinking her picture almost has a gray tone, but olives don't have a gray tone. Olives might have more of a yellow. So, I'm going to add some honeycomb, and I could totally mess this up at this point. Hello, Lisa Schroeder. Hello, my friend Betty. Cindy Harlow. Cindy, I think you asked for a yellow, like a deep yellow. I'll see if I can get to that. I'm just kind of going down the list, and then I decided to incorporate a couple of the colors that people asked for in my project. So I'm going to be contacting those people, the colors that I'm using in my project, because I want to gift the colors that I used. Okay, let's see what this, it's a little lighter. Okay, see, that might even be more olive. Oh yeah, that's probably even better. So that would take 3 colors. That would take Christmas cookie, chocolate souffle, and honeycomb. And let's see. Thank you, Tony. Amanda, hi. I am actually going to be using the color. I'm going to be making the color you asked for, which means I'll be gifting you some of these little samples so that you can make your own. That you asked for the lavender metallic, like a muted lavender. So I'm going to try to make that. And I'm just kind of going down the list. I'm working on this tray for my project today. And I want to use some of that. I want to use that lavender in here too, because it's going to be beautiful with my paper. So for the olive, it was not blue. It was, and a touch of red. No, not for what I make. Oh, maybe you're just giving us a recipe. Oh, you're probably just giving us a recipe, Betty. What I used was our Christmas cookie mixed with chocolate souffle and a touch of honeycomb. So that's what my olive looks like. I think I got real close. Black and yellow might make olive, you're right. I'm just trying to, without looking up recipes or whatever, I'm just kind of going like, when I look at a color, I try to see in my mind what the undertones are. All right. So that's the olive. Alrighty. So since Amanda is on here with us, because she's got a couple little ones, she might have to click off. Let me go to her picture. Okay, yes. Amanda asked for a muted lavender with the metallics. So I'll show you. That's what Amanda asked for. And so what I'm going to use on this, again, I'm going to use white sand, the white metallic, right? And I'm going to use our Royal Highness, those two, but then I need to mute it. If it's not muted enough, just with these two, that means I will need to, I'm thinking, add a touch of maybe gray, not even silver. Our silver is so highly pigmented, it wants to just take over. I mean, I could try it, but we'll see. Right? Let me just click back. I wish I could, I don't think I can do that, right? I'm looking to see if no, you know what? It's kind of a bummer. I wish I could do like screen on screen. All right. We're going to just put in a little bit of Royal Highness. It's our new purple. Okay. Trying not to pop it open and it splatter all over. All right. I don't even know where I got. I think I got that at the Dollar Tree. Well, it's working out pretty good for this purpose. Let's start out just right. We'll start out with a little bit and work our way. And that might have been too much. I may end up putting more. I don't want to take away. I don't want any more of the, here, I've got like a big, kind of a little blob of Royal Highness. I don't want to take away from the shininess of the metallic by adding some chalk paint. If nothing else, it just will need maybe more coats. So let me click back to Amanda's picture. Okay, so my purple is still too blue. So it will definitely need some muting. I might have, like I said though, and I'm going to add a little more of the white sand to lighten it a little more. I definitely won't need any more Royal Highness. We're going to lighten it a little more, and then I might do is pour some of this in another tray, and I'll experiment using our sterling silver. But, oh, I know in the past, too blue. I know in the past that the silver has taken over. Let's see. We're going to try it. We are going to try it. But I just have to use it so sparse. It is a pretty lavender though. Why don't I just do this just so we can see what it looks like. Grab a brush so you can see what it looks like on the paper. Just the color that it is. I'll put it up here. And again, I had said it earlier that the white sand is more of a translucent, like a pearly type of a metallic. So you'll probably need a couple coats to cover. But look at how pretty that is. So Laura was asking about the rose and green. Yeah. Well, no, yes, she was asking about a rose, but I think in the chalk paint. And actually in the green in the chalk paint as well. All right. So now, let me see if I add some of this silver. Oh my gosh, I don't want to do too much. I need to mute that purple a little bit. So I'm going to try the silver. If it takes over my color, I've got the other tray that, you know, I divvied up, and I maybe put a touch of like Foggy Martini. That might just be even too much right there. Let's see. Oh, I think I might be able to put more actually. I just have to put little bit at a time. And I can already, I can see, hold on. Oh my gosh, can you, let me do that. Can you tell the difference? I can. Right, this is the one on my left is the muted one, right? It's starting to take away some of the, it might still be a little on the blue side. Let me click over to her picture. Maybe still a little too purple. Might need a little blue. Now, it's so funny because, right, I'm looking at a screen. Now, that's definitely a muted metallic, but now it almost looks periwinkle when I blow up her picture. Oh, this, okay, I'm under pressure. What if I put a dash of Starry Night? We'll put it right into that same tray. So now you can all see what my day looks like when I'm trying to match a color, make a color. And sometimes I just do this to entertain myself and challenge myself. I'll sit and I'm like, you know what? I want to see if I can make that color. And that's what I do. Silly stuff. Okay, this might be too much. But I want to blue it. I want to see if I can't get it a little more blue. And then I might have to lighten it because the blue just took over. It's so dark and pigmented. So you know what? It's a good thing I have some of my other portion left over. You know what? Here, just so, oh, that didn't work. That was dumb. Okay. I'm going to just click. Well, it's getting closer. Also, the fact that it's metallic, it will look different than my screen, but I think I'm going to add back some of my original. And let's see. I might even need to add some more white sand because the Starry Night really made it look dark. I think, you know, I'm challenging myself to get as close to Amanda's picture as I can, right? By using the 12 colors that I have available to me. So let's see. I want to lighten it. I feel like it needs to be lighter and it might work. Oh, there we go. It still might be too blue now. I don't know. Again, it's so hard. That's a hard shade to get to with the metallic. I almost think like, sorry, I'm telling you, this is my process. This is what I do. I'm always like, how close can I get it? Is it close enough? Is it, I think it's too blue. Let's just pour this all in here. I don't know if it would have made a difference. Like I said, I could put drops of chalk paint, and I make a lot of my own pastels. You've seen me do it with white sand and like a few drops of chalk paint. But I'm trying to see if I can, I mean, this green is definitely brighter. Paint it on. So it's close. I mean, I don't think I can get exactly because I don't know what colors I used, but this is the one just using the white sand, right? The white sand and the Royal Highness. And then I took this and started playing around by adding a touch of the sterling and the touch of Starry Night. And it gives it more of that muted, the muted colors. Let me dry them real quick. Let me get back to you. Okay. Do you like it, Amanda? Well, I'm going to send you these little, you know, samples, these little cups, so that you can play around and maybe make your own. Let me just dry it. And it looks like, you know, they do dry a little darker too. All right, let's see if I can. Okay. I think it is easier if I just, yeah, mine is too, Amanda still looks more blue. Oh, I'm losing my light. I'm doing something here. It's funny, you do this, it's all in the metallic too. The metallic is like, if I do this sideways and look at it like this, it looks more like it. If I put it up next to it, it doesn't. It's still muted, but again, I'm not looking at this is the paint, this is a flat paint. It's still not quite right. I'm wondering, I'm going to see what your comments are. Yeah, the darker one, Brenda, the darker one is closer. And again, we're looking at a flat, you know, the paint color's flat on the screen. It's not a metallic. Probably like a computer generated color, possibly. But mine is definitely blue purple. But when I look at that screen, it almost looks more blue than mine. So I don't know if that was well, you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to move on. And I need to decide, because you guys don't have all night, I'd like to go ahead and try some more colors. And maybe up here, let me bring it back here. Here we go. Could you add blue to darken? Catherine, it's too dark already is the problem. And I think I'm almost thinking maybe I have to use some of the chalk paint in the white. But you know what? We're going to go for it. You know what? I'm going to use cream puff though. I'm thinking not, since we want it muted, I don't want it white. The white sand is just too translucent. Whoops, I don't want that. Let's see if I can mix it maybe with some cream puff, just to give it a little bit, make it a little more opaque. And there we go. It did lighten it. Needed to be a little lighter. Let me get a clean brush and see what happens now. Let's see if that gets any closer. I think the Starry Night just might be too deep of a blue, but I'm afraid if I do like Blue Diamond, it won't be right. So let me click back. Oh, wow. Okay. This is almost identical. Let me dry it just so that I don't get this all over my computer. This looks good. So this took a lot of different colors to get there. But guess what it did? It brought the sheen of the metallic down. That little bit of chalk paint. This might be a color that, wow, it's close. Maybe like afterwards. Can you see that? It's all in, the lighting is, no, the lighting is not good. Between the computer and my lights in here, very yellow. But that one, full metallic. This one lost the sheen. As soon as I put the chalk paint in it. The color's closer, but you know what? I may work on that later before I send Amanda the paints. Because I might do is just experiment with Blue Diamond, even though it's very green, very teal. It's weird how sometimes certain colors will work. All right. For Karen, are you talking about this one where I used, ouch. Where I used the chalk paint? It lost its sheen though. And this one, the formula is, so we're gonna forget about the cream puff because we're trying to mix a lavender, right? So this formula is Royal Highness, White Sand, Sterling, and it's 4 colors. Starry Night. And I just think the Starry Night, either that or I just put too much. That would be a color I'd have to play with to get it as light as she wants it. So I may have to do that. But in the meantime, I think I want to use what I mixed because they're pretty. I think we'll go ahead and use like almost dry brushing it right on the top. It'll be really pretty with the paper that I showed you. Okay. You know, and sometimes I just can't mix colors because I don't have the right colors. Like I said, I think it's all in that blue. I think I could make that color with what I have if it wasn't the metallic. Because you saw once I added the chalk paint, it got really close. And here's an idea too. And this is the one I added. It's not gonna, I can go back because this one's gonna look more chalky. I can go back and maybe put white sand on top of this and it'll bring, it'll give me that metallic again. But it's kind of like cheating. Let's see. I love how feminine these colors are. Right? How girly they are. It's still a beautiful color. It just lost the sheen of the metallic. It doesn't have as much. All right. So where is your surface from? Karen, I ordered it from somebody on Facebook Marketplace and had them send it to me sometime last year. If you ever watch Royal Funky Junk, she does a lot of silver trays. Well, I was traveling with Mr. Pixie this one time and I was there alone in my hotel room and I was watching her and I thought, oh my God, I need some silver trays. And I ordered like 3 different ones, 3 or 4 of them, like small ones. And then I found some silver pots at Goodwill and this big old silver tray at Goodwill, which this is the very first piece I am painting. And I've had everything since last year. So, okay, we're going to set aside that muted lavender metallic because it's not the exact shade she asked for. Later on, I'll play around with maybe blue diamond in there or less starry night. Sometimes it's all in the ratios. I think I just had put way too much starry night. All right, so what's the next color up? I mean, we don't have time to do them all. I don't know, do any of you remember, did you look, Cindy Harlow, I don't know if you're still here. A deep yellow is hard, but it might be easier now. So Cindy Harlow asked for a deep yellow. I am going to try to do that with our honeycomb. And I'm looking at her color swatch. And honeycomb, there's a lot of orange in that yellow. And I'm thinking Aperol Spritz. And then it might have to be toned down. All right, so let's try it. Let me go back. What's this? She does what? Beautiful. These colors are gorgeous. Thank you, Gloria. Love the rose pink. I know. Isn't that pretty? That was the easiest one to make. Okay. That looks lovely with the pink. Thank you, Amanda. It's so girly. And what I'll probably do is end up putting some white sand on there. All right. I used the Aperol Spritz yesterday and love it. Yeah, isn't it a beautiful color? It's a very muted, right? A very muted orange. This is one of our new Chaulk Paint Colors. And I think it's really pretty. So we're going to try to get a, whoops, let's do this, a darker. Now, in this case, I might be putting too much honeycomb. Let me kind of do this side by side for now. And then start mixing. Oh, I was thinking too much honeycomb, but nope, probably too much Aperol, right? Let me go back to her picture. But you know what? It is so close. Let me, oh my gosh. And that was with Aperol Spritz. Oh, let me do this. I keep forgetting to do this. Let me paint. And then it's easier for me to pick this up. Now, you probably want to maybe mix them a little better, but oh, I think I do need more honeycomb. I think I do. And the swatch she sent me looks like it has been painted. So I don't know if it's the swatch she did. Oh, Josie, look what I did. Oh, well, it's still wet. Now, my yellow is not super bright, and that could have an effect, but it's close. All right, let me dry it, and then I can show you. It's right here. It's super close. I mean, a little more yellow. Again, I don't have a bright yellow. And yellow is a color that you can't make because it's pure, other than like my honeycomb's made probably with yellow pigment. You know, it's a primary color. So this one, let me see if I add a little bit of chocolate souffle maybe. If by chance that might help to just deepen it a little bit more. But in the meantime, I can go back and really close, right? Okay, let me, oh heck, do I have some, let me find, I'm just looking for my bottles. There it is, my bottle of honeycomb. Oh, you know what else though might work? We're going to go ahead and mix it again. And I'm wondering if I put in a little bit of candied papaya. So you want to mix. You want to mix it really well. And this isn't the best tool, but it works. It's working. Let me go back and see. It's very muted. And again, you know, I'm trying to do it from a computer screen. I think it needs more Aperol. And maybe I'll throw in a little bit of candy papaya just to see if that will richen it up. Too orange. Had it better the first time. I need a bright yellow. Bright yellow, and I don't go back and add some more yellow. See, this is where you can end up wasting a lot of paint. I mean, depending on what your ratios are. See, it's easier to when I put it on the paper, right? But let's go ahead. I mean, we're just playing right now. May as well add the candy papaya, and we'll see what happens. Okay. We'll see. That might not be the trick either. Right? Too much and too orange. Okay. Let me click back to her picture. It's not bright enough. It's not bright enough, and there's nothing you can do about that. You can, let me just, I think my first try was better. This is very orange now. So candy papaya is not the choice. Yeah, my first one, now that it's drying, was better. It was more yellow. Yeah, this is what happens sometimes. You just keep mixing and mixing in it. But you want, that's why I said you want to start off with really small amounts, because you end up having a big mess. But okay, so it's really close. The first one, not the second, right? This one is the brighter. The other one turned out too orange, and that's because I added that candy papaya. If I had a brighter yellow, it would have been more successful. But you know what? At least now you're getting an idea of what you can do, right? All right. We'll just keep moving on. Keep stacking up these. I'll throw this one. Well, we can probably use that part. All right. So what else? I can show, okay, they're asking also for me. Oh, so somebody asked for the Thrifty Flipper, asked for a really dark green, but not the olive. And I'm going to show you, that's a simple one in my opinion. If it were me making a dark green for myself, I would take our Christmas cookie. I would just do Christmas cookie, and I would do licorice, which is our black. There we go. And that would get me, that's the same way I make a maroon. I take red and black, or you can do red and, you know, like our chocolate souffle. And here I want to be careful. Let's start off with just a little bit and see what happens. And her picture is just of a very dark green. Okay. And really, that's all there is to it. If you want a really dark, if you want to, like I said, you want to darken a green, you want to darken a blue, you can start adding either dark, like I've got mud pie, which is a super dark gray. Probably use that. But there it is, just a super dark green. And I'll show you the difference with that and Christmas cookie. You see? Super dark green just by adding black. And you saw when I was making the olive, I used brown. What about the lemon crinkle, Karen? I'm sorry. Lemon crinkle for what? Are you looking to make a color like lemon crinkle? If you're going to do that, I would take honeycomb and add one of the whites. And then you'd get a soft yellow. Or are you telling, I know you're not telling me to use lemon crinkle to make a dark green. That I do know. But you have to tell me what you would use the lemon crinkle for. So, okay, there's that. That was super simple. All right, let's put these back. Try to, I'm just trying to stay a little organized here. Okay. Now, someone asked for, I think it was also, let me go back. Well, a maroon. Okay, so Lou Porter asked for a powder blue. I just want to show her if she sees the replay of our French macaron, because that is really close to a powder blue. All right. No, I was thinking you could possibly add to your orange to make it. Karen, the lemon crinkle would have been too light. The that deeper yellow that Cindy asked for was a very rich color. And I would have needed a deeper yellow for that. But I got close. You know, I'm working with what I got, right? So if this is French macaron, this is just to show Lou Porter asked for a blue that wasn't too green or too teal. This is what I call our French blue. That's why I called it French macaron. It's really beautiful. If anything, it's going to have more gray undertones, right? But it does not have any green undertones at all. Beautiful color. Hey, I am having fun. I always have fun when I'm painting. All right. Periwinkle or Moody Slate Blue. Okay, so the periwinkle, I'm going to try to make it, we just sort of made it out of the liquid Pixie Dust colors. I got to set those aside. But a while back, I worked on this picture frame. And I ended up making a beautiful periwinkle using blackberry cobbler, candy apple, and I believe it was marshmallow. I used to give my affiliates, I had content creators and affiliates, and we would do these monthly, we did monthly challenges with them. And one of the challenges is Jane, who worked for me back then too, picked 3 colors and we had to use them together. So when I was doing a bunch of blending, I ended up making this beautiful periwinkle. So let's see if I can make it again. The thing is I was doing everything on the frame. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it like in a tray, but I'll try. If not, I may just start layering wet on wet on wet on my paper, because I'm like, I'm not even sure where I'm going to start with this. We're going to start with marshmallow. Marshmallows are pure white. No other, when I say pure, it doesn't have gray or yellow undertones. It's total pure white pigment. Alrighty, so we're going to give it a try. And that's Blackberry Cobbler. Let's see what happens. Now, might need a little more blue, right? If you like your periwinkle to be more blue. Let's see what happens. Getting close. There we go. And then if I want it lighter, I just add white. So let me grab a brush. There we go. It's definitely a periwinkle. And like I said, if I want it lighter, let me add some more marshmallow. And I could even use like cream puff. You know, when you use, like cream puff has a yellow, it's right, it's that cream, looks like a cream puff. When you use paint colors with different undertones, it changes it a little bit. And here I am mixing with my brush. I told you not to do that, but I'm doing it. Old habits die hard. So you have to remember that the paint does dry a little darker. Right? So now there we go, a lighter shade. Now it's getting darker. So you want to maybe keep that in mind, right? I was thinking you could possibly add to your orange. Wait, I missed something. Thank you, Barb Zimmerman. Replying to Karen. I could add what to my orange? Are you talking, oh, are we still talking about the lemon crinkle? No, I was thinking you could possibly add to your orange to make it work for your goal. No, Karen, if we're talking about that yellow I was trying, the lemon crinkle is, look at this, I'll show it to you. It's way too light. It's more of a pastel. That was not going to work with my orange because and I've done this before. I will use a lemon crinkle with like candy papaya to make a beautiful, more like a light apricot color. And I can show you what, well, we should just move on, I guess. I don't know. I can always show you in a minute. But anyway, there we go. A periwinkle. And then I do have a link, Michelle. Let me just type it in while you're asking, and I see it. It's www.paintpixie.com. Michelle, I own the company. It's a brush and a paint company, so it's my own line of paint. It's Magical Chaulk Paint, and it's liquid Pixie Dust is our metallics. So, okay, so we've got the periwinkle and a moody slate blue. I would say, and she did give me a picture. So the moody slate, oh, guess what? Okay, she gave me a picture of a dark periwinkle. So I could continue to just play. Now her periwinkle definitely is different than my version of a periwinkle. Hers has a lot of purple in it. Which maybe then you mix figgy pudding instead of, or maybe mix some figgy pudding in it instead of blackberry cobbler if you want it more purple. And then she's asking for a moody slate blue, which would be more blackberry cobbler. And maybe add, maybe mud pie. You know, and this is why I love mixing wet on wet instead of mixing colors, because I feel like I'm more successful that way. You've seen me do it. I feel like I am really being challenged today, because this is not how I normally don't make colors. I just mix while I'm on my surface. So here is blackberry. She asked for a moody slate blue. Oh, here, let me put blackberry cobbler. And that way we can compare it to what I'm making, right? So I don't know if I put too much gray in there. Ooh, it's really pretty though. Really pretty. Let me see. Let me see if I probably would need, oh, her picture's very little. You know, her blues, I think I just need more blackberry cobbler. Her blue is very similar to blackberry cobbler, except I think with some gray undertones. Thank you, Michelle, if you're talking to me. I don't know who you're talking to. Okay. Let's go back, add some more blackberry cobbler, and there should be enough of a difference. Here we go. Oh, I think that might be better, more of her, either one, even the really dark one's pretty. Let's see. Are you all getting tired and bored? Are you ready for me to wrap it up? Let me just dry it. That's when I can really see. Gosh, you know, the blackberry cobbler is almost the right color. You know, and the way the light is shining on whatever picture she showed me, now mine are really dark. Hers is bright because I think of the lighting. I think she could add mud pie. I don't know. Let's just try this. Let me add some Foggy Martini. Her picture definitely is lighter than mine, but again, you can see that there's light shining right directly on it. But let's see if maybe I do this. God, I prefer mixing with the brush. I prefer to do what you're not supposed to do. Let's try it with Foggy Martini. That will lighten it up. And let's see. I don't know. Definitely lightened it up because the Foggy Martini is more of a medium gray. Whoops. She was just looking for a moody blue. Let me dry it. I think if she did Blackberry Cobbler and Foggy Martini, she could get what she's looking for. It's still a little darker, but again, it could be because the light, the way that light, you can see the light shining on her paint, so it's definitely darker still, but in real life, if the light weren't shining on that, it might be darker. Okay, let's see, where am I with you? I'd very much like a terracotta rust. Okay, what would you do? Hey, terracotta rust, okay. Let's try that. Okay. I'm going to try that for you, Betty, because you hardly ever ask for anything. Okay. I am thinking Aperol Spritz, chai latte, maybe. You did, Betty? When did you, oh, just now? Did you just post them now? Hold on. Under the challenge pictures? Let me go to newest. Let's see what we've got. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, I see the picture. Guess I could use the other side, couldn't I? I'm going to stick with, I don't know, I'm kind of torn. Candy papaya and chai latte. You know what? I'm going to do this wet on wet. If it works, we'll try it by mixing. Oh, actually mixing it. And it might take all three. I just really love mixing everything wet on wet. I get the colors that I want. So, see if I can bring you closer. Try to bring you closer so you can see better. And let me get, there we go, I can see. Okay, that might be too red. because our candy papaya is very red. It's an orange, but it has a lot of red undertones. So let's try this. Doing it this way kind of gives me an idea. It's not that deep, deep. I know what she wants. I see the picture. All right. And I don't know, might need some red. This might be a color that, oh shoot. How did I get green? Let's see. This might be a color. And again, I'm just playing right here. I'll try to mix it because I just contaminated my brush. I touched, there was green in there. It might need, sorry, even some red. And I could be making this much more difficult than it needs to be. The chai latte might be too muted because I'm seeing, look at these. Look at those. Look at this. And I'm going to show you her picture. There we go. Oh, there we go. I feel like it's in here somewhere. I do. And I feel like it's in here somewhere. Do you see why I gravitated to the candy papaya? Maybe a mixture of these two. Let's try it. Well, maybe that was the ticket. Close. It's definitely more of a rusty color. Let's add some. That might be too red, but you know what? I'm going to try it. It's a red velvet cake. Just trying to see if it's definitely a rusty color. Let me click back over to your comments so I can see what you're saying. Okay, there are two picks, one lighter, one darker. Okay, that was one pick. Okay, let's go here. Okay, so this one would be more the lighter shade. Oh man, I'm getting paint all over my computer. The darker shade, that's really pretty. Let's add, I don't know how that's gonna work. I don't know. No, the darker shade reminds me more of this, the candy papaya. It's close. Very, very close. Really close. And I keep thinking, every time I put the chocolate souffle, I feel like it muted it. It shouldn't have. Isn't that weird though? Oh, I need my brushes. I'm showing you some bad habits. Use worn out brushes if you're going to do this. There's something about mixing it for me when I use the bristles. I mean, that's close. Honestly, without having this, I'm gonna mix this, the same exact colors, it's pretty darn good, right? I'm using what I have available to me. Let me, ooh, that might have been way too much. Come on, Josie. I put way too much chocolate souffle. I got overzealous. Nope. It was so close. Try to get back. Try to get back to it. I don't know if I can without using a ton of paint. You saw I got really close. Okay, there we go. It's, oh, yikes. I mean, okay, let me go back to your comments because more red, more red, more red. Okay, looks like red, orange in a crayon box. Well, Karen, maybe I'm using the wrong red. Let me try candy apple. I thought maybe a more muted red, but maybe candy apple is the ticket, right? Just might be, maybe something brighter. Maybe. It's going to dry darker though. I think I put too much chocolate souffle, but I think Karen had a point. I think the candy apple is a better choice for the red instead of the red velvet cake. I was thinking the red velvet cake is more muted, not as bright, but maybe in this case it did need it. And I'm going to show you what I just painted here. Oh, I just put my thumb in it. All right. Whoa. Let's try it. It's really close. I think Karen was on the point. I mean, I realize I've red velvet cake in there as well. So if I took that out, would it make the same color? I don't know. But it's close. Thank you, Debbie. I think you had it closer before, but that's good too. That's why sometimes you just play, but you know. All right. That is that. Let's see. I think I might want to work on my little tray. I'm going to have to make more pink, but I'll do that later. What else do we have here that... Cobalt, just so you know, oh, you put iris. I cannot make that color because I don't have the right blue. It will take more of a pure, the actual pigment of the blue, right? So blue, red, yellows are primary colors, and I don't have the right, I don't think I have the right, unless I did it with figgy pudding, I don't have the right blue. I could try it. We might even be able to try it with Bombini Cocktail. It's just, I don't think I have the right blue for that, Betty. Brown. Oh, browns you can make any colored brown. With red and green will make a shade of brown. To make a brown, all you have to do is take your complementary colors. So it would be red and green, make a brown. What is it? Orange and green. Is that right? No. Yeah, and blue and yellow, I believe it is. So mix your complementary colors. You will get some kind of shade of brown. Let's see where we're at. Karen, you asked for a light pink. I showed it to you in the metallic, but let's see if we add, just make it real simple. Let's see what shade of pink we get if we do violet lemonade and white. Just simple. See if we can get close to your color here. Like a baby pink. Right? Oh, shoot. Okay. I told you this before. I didn't follow my own instructions. When you're doing these light colors, it's going to be more white and less of the color. And this time, I'm going to use saltwater taffy. Saltwater taffy looks like a pure white. It's very bright. It's a bright white, what we call a bright white. But it does have gray undertones. And that's what makes this white look brighter, when you have gray and blue undertones. And something I learned, I don't even know how I heard of this, but like when you buy whiteners for your laundry, I'm not talking about bleach. I'm talking about like when Clorox comes out with the brightener, there's what's called in there, it's called bluing. And that's what makes your whites look whiter, because they add bluing. That's what I read, or however I... So there's a, whoa, and I end up getting pink all over, baby pink. There you go, Karen. Violet lemonade and saltwater taffy make a baby pink. Keep going back. Okay. Bluing used to be, yeah, I use purple shampoo in my hair. All right, Sarah, did you see I made a pastel pink? Right? There we go. Very light pink. All right, let me put that aside. Now, I want to see what some of the people at the very beginning, what did they ask for? We did that. Let me go for a sage green. I made one for myself. I needed like a sage green to match some paper I was using. And I was just playing around, and I was really surprised I was able to make it with what I ended up using. I used chai latte, sour apple green, and put some of this back, Oreo cookie dough. I was able to make a sage green that I needed to match. So let me, oh no, there they are. I was going to say I ran out of about to say, I think I ran out of trays. When I run out of trays and we're done. Okay. I remember this, I believe, if I remember right, it was equal parts so let's just that's not equal parts, but let's just kind of start with that. We need to mute this green because it's pretty bright. Sour apple's not my brightest, but it's a brighter, you know, it's like a granny apple. So now I'm going to add my Oreo cookie dough is actually our lightest gray. It almost looks white. I don't remember how much of that I had put in. So we're just going to go for it. But again, this was the green I needed on my frame. And maybe it wasn't sage. Now that I'm looking at it, maybe it was more of a light mossy. Right? Yeah, this looks, I think I'm wrong. I think I was making like a mossy green, not a sage. Because sage has more blue in it. Okay. I got mixed up and thinking I was, no. So let's do, oh no, I am out. Okay. Hold on, I'm going to have to, I went through all my trays. I'm trying to think, to make a sage green, we definitely want it. I'm thinking, I wonder if I could do it out of watermelon rind. Sorry, I'm out of trays. So I'm going to have to kind of maybe clean one out. Well, I better throw that away, or I will get paint all over me, won't I? All right. This is probably going to be the last color we mix. We have a big old mess going, right? I'm thinking we want a sage green. Would I do maybe a gray? Would I? All right, I'm just gonna go for mixing it here for now, using my brush. Oh, here you go again, Josie. You, okay. I just want to dig right in. Okay. Let's, probably still could just be, nope, too teal, too blue. All right. I'm going to go with Christmas cookie and chai latte. Let's see what happens with those two. Because I think that watermelon rind might be too blue. Doesn't mean that I can't. Oh, let me just see. Sorry, I switched. Josie, you're so kind to share with us. Oh gosh, I'm having fun. I hope you are too. Let's you know what? Let's go glazed donut with Christmas cookie. Let's just see. And then I may end up having to add some blue. I don't use sage green. Oh, that's looking better though. Definitely looking better. Whoa, let me go back. I'm wondering if I'm gonna put gray in here. Her sage green of the picture she's showing me has gray. So I am going to use some of the Oreo cookie dough to lighten it. And again, this is our lightest gray. I've heard people say when they're on their lives, it's a white. It is not white. It is so light, it almost looks white. Hers is still more blue in her picture. But I can tell you, and depending on what color you want, but if she's looking for that, what the heck? What if I had some French macaron maybe? I don't know. Never made this before. Right, hers is definitely a much more muted sage. Oh, but I think I'm getting closer. Oh, I am. Add more blue. When I put this next to her picture looks a lot more blue. Oh, that's pretty. I think that's it this time. So what did I do? Christmas cookie, glazed donut, Oreo cookie dough, and French macaron. All right, I'll show it to you. Whoa. Oh, that's pretty. Okay. Oh, wait, that's not gonna work, is it? It's probably could use some more blue or light gray. Like lighten it up still some more. Let's go with the Oreo cookie dough first. Because I feel like I could always go back and add more French macaron. See, it's closer almost when I still need. I think it still needs more blue. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Just a little bit though. See, it's such a thin line, right? You put a little too much, it's too blue. Put not enough, it's too gray, or whatever, right? Oh, it's definitely different. It's getting closer. I can tell. And you know what? And I'm not going to beat myself up if I can't get exact, because I'm using a limited paint palette. If I were to try to match it perfectly, then I'd probably go to the store. I'd buy like every shade of different blues and greens and whatever, and then spend hours, but you know, mixing. But if I'm just trying to get something close, I could do that. Ta-da! I don't know. Oh, sorry. Mojito might have worked, except that it's got green in it. That's why I was leaning more towards the blue. Hi, Patricia. Your new comforter sage. Love that one. Looks minty on my screen. It's not. It's got a lot of blue in it, believe it or not. Again, you know, I'm looking at it. Hers, the more I look at hers, the more that I keep seeing blue in it, more and more blue. So if I added the mojito, I'd be afraid it would begin to look minty. I mean, because you can see I didn't add any more green. I keep adding blue and gray. And I still see more blue and or more green in mine than hers. I don't know if maybe if I would have started with French macaron and then added, you know, kind of did it the opposite, added a little bit of the green, started off with more blue. That might have been the way to do it. But it's still not bad. Not bad. Alrighty, so what time is it? Oh my God, it's almost 7? You guys have been on here a long time with me. Woo! Wow, and I appreciate it so much. I got to play, I got to start a project. I'm gonna need more coats of that pink that I made. But I hope I taught you something, even if I couldn't make the exact color of the picture. You know, I think I got close enough for with what I have. I'm working with 31 colors. You know, I think that's not too bad. And Karen, which green? The green I used was Christmas cookie. No, yeah. Oh my God, I did so many. Yes, Christmas cookie. I think I'm really thinking I should have started off with, you know what I should have started, I'm looking straight at it. I should have started off with like blue Java banana and added some other stuff to it, even though blue Java banana is not sage, but it's got blue in it. It's that bluish green color. I don't know. But I think I got close enough. Anyway, here, let me, Mr. Pixie's out of town, so that's why he didn't interrupt. And like, you know, are you ever going to stop working? You know, when it comes to this, I love it. And I love all of you, and I appreciate you being here. And the person getting my set from my post yesterday will be Amanda. Can never say her last name, Amanda P. Because I ended up making her shade of pink to use on my project. And I was going to give somebody something. So that's who's getting that gift today. Anyway, that's it. I love you all. Thank you so much. I don't know if I'll have time. We'll see. I need to I have to tell myself I need to do this more than once a week or more than twice a week, right? And as long as you'll stick it out with me and I can teach you something, that makes me really happy, makes my heart happy. All right, everybody, it's really late where a lot of you are. I appreciate being here, love you, and I think it's time for me to figure out what I'm gonna have for dinner. Bye.